Want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight, but when we come back, more blackouts as sweltering temperatures continue, and later a domestic dispute causes a structural fire, allegedly. We've got more on that right after this break.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Hey, psst, it's me, Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper, Saturday, June 20th at Atlantis, Bahamas. Cyndi Lauper. Tickets on sale now at atlantislive.com.
And it's gonna be a party, a big celebration.
Don't miss Cyndi Lauper live.
At BOB, we take pride in our business banking.
My name is Olivia Paget. I'm the owner of the Stone Crab restaurant. I chose Bank of Bahamas as my financial partner because it's a local bank. They take care of all my financial transactions. The payroll goes through them. I describe my relationship with the Bank of Bahamas team as very friendly, really working with me as a business owner, and they are very helpful when it comes to giving advice on how to make these dreams reality.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and everybody watching from Nassau. Tonight, we welcome a star. So please join me in welcoming the barbecue rap star, star of the show!
KFC, it's finger licking good.
Looking for insurance that fits your lifestyle and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General, insurance made simple.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. You're getting the cheapest tonight at Rubis, $6.65. Shell coming in at $6.85. Esso, $7.07. Your local prices at the pump. Well, frustration mounting across New Providence and the Family Islands as recurring power outages continue to disrupt homes and businesses. Bahamas Power and Light says the latest rounds of blackouts was triggered by an electrical malfunction at the Clifton Pear Power Station, leaving thousands of customers without electricity. BPL first reported outages Thursday evening affecting areas included Market Street, Palmetto Street, Paradise Island, West Bay, Blue Hill Road, and Sea Beach Estates. In subsequent updates, the utility company said Bahamas Grid Company was carrying out restoration efforts as additional outages spread to Winton, Soldier Road, Gladstone, Rocky Pine, and surrounding communities. Several western New Providence communities, including Sandyport, Coral Harbor, Lyford Key, Bahamar, Ocean Club, were also impacted. By Sunday, BPL announced rotational power supply measures for Fire Trail Road, Golden Isles, Carmichael Road, and nearby areas, citing higher than expected peak electricity demands. Last week, Energy Minister JoBeth Colby Davis urged residents to brace for continued interruptions, describing them as part of BPL's growing pains, while assuring consumers that efforts were underway to improve the country's energy infrastructure. Well, tonight, several families are facing an uncertain future after a fire believed to have been deliberately set destroyed a two-story apartment complex. Our Rebecca Bain was on scene today.
I was not expecting nothing to happen like that. As far as I know, I got up, went to work, everything was okay. And then to get like a phone call saying that your house is getting burned down is very heartbroken.
It was a devastating turn of events for Angela Cherylis as thick black smoke filled the sky over Infant View Drive, where a fire ripped through a two-story apartment complex. Cherylis, a tenant of the building, was left searching for answers as she watched the aftermath unfold. She says what began as a simple phone call quickly turned into a nightmare. Rushing to the scene, unsure of what had happened, Cherylis says she was frustrated to find her home engulfed in flames as she believed the fire may have been the result of arson.
No accident. It was intentional. The person, because it was her and her boyfriend who was actually fighting. So during the anger, she started the fire. I'm actually angry. I would love to do something about it, but I know I have to leave it in police custody.
As firefighters continued their battle against the blaze, which left behind little more than charred debris, Cherylis placed the area overwhelmed by the reality of her loss. Now displaced, she says she is struggling to imagine what comes next.
What hurt me the most is that all my documents, my paperwork is in my apartment and they are all ruined. So it's like I have to start all over. I need the help. I don't have nowhere to stay. I don't know who I could call on to say, oh, Angie, just lay your head for. So I do not know what to do. The other persons whose homes got burned down, they don't have nowhere else to go. All their clothes, their documents, everything is destroyed.
Despite the tragedy, Cherylis says she is grateful that no lives were lost. In particular, she is thankful that her nieces and nephews who were inside the building at the time escaped without injury. While she remains hopeful, she says there is one thing she is now praying for.
She has to be held accountable for her actions.
Eyewitness News reached out to authorities for comment on the incident, but up to news time, no response had been received. If you are interested in assisting Cherylis and others affected by the fire, you can contact 436-8518. Rebecca Bain, Eyewitness News.
Meantime, a beachfront business is also picking up the pieces after a fire over the weekend. The Drunken Monkey on Junkanoo Beach on the eastern end, they were damaged on Saturday night, but management says the focus is now on recovery and rebuilding. Our Laurencia Smith has the details.
Trying to figure out how can something happen so quickly due to the fact that I recently locked up the shop about 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. I'm getting a call that the shop's on fire. Like, that was crazy to me, but the fact of the matter is I just say thank God that everybody was already home.
Mind-blowing. That's how manager Gabrielle Stubb-Hyler described the moment she received the call that a fire had damaged the Drunken Monkey on Junkanoo Beach. Stubb-Hyler says the family-owned business has been serving customers for nearly 15 years and has called Junkanoo Beach home for the past 10 years.
We suffered a lot of damages, a lot of lost inventories because our business is we don't only have a bar, we have a restaurant and we sell souvenirs as well.
While the full extent of the damage is still being assessed, Stubbs-Hyler says early estimate placed loss in the thousands of dollars. And despite the setback, she says that the immediate focus is getting the business back up and running quickly as possible for the 18 employees who depend on it for their livelihoods.
We have to get the ball rolling as quickly as possible. We can't afford these families to have nothing in their pockets at the end of the day. So we have to come out and try our best to see if we could even push our chairs and stuff to ensure that they have a pay at the end of the week.
According to preliminary reports, firefighters were alerted of the blaze shortly before 11 p.m. 2 fire units were dispatched on the scene and worked to bring the blaze under control.
The eastern side of the building was damaged. That's where our kitchen and a portion of our bar is. Now, because of the roof, the smoke and everything, it impacted some of the souvenirs and all of that. So,
in a sign of resilience, employees were back on the beach just hours after the fire, serving customers and taking orders as the business began the recovery process. Managers say anyone wishing to assist the recovery effort is encouraged to reach out to them directly.
Reach out to assist us. You can contact the CEO of the building, Ms. Joycelyn Stubbs, at 544-4727, and she'll be happy and grateful with anything that you can bring forward to assist us.
Police say no injuries were reported. An investigation into the cause and the circumstances around the fire is ongoing. Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, Eyewitness News turning to social media today, posing the question, what's the most important thing when a local business is recovering from a major setback like a fire? 20% of participants voting protecting jobs and supporting employees. 37% voted rebuilding and reopening as quickly as possible. 1% voted receiving financial or community support, while some 42% voted that it's determining the cause and preventing future incidents. Well, government promising a major transformation of the country's national security landscape through a series of multi-million-dollar investments. It's aimed at modernizing law enforcement, border protection, and corrections. Lyndon Ritchie Jr. has the details in this report.
Long overdue investments in national security infrastructure are set to transform how the country polices its streets, secures its borders, and manages its prison population. The announcement made in Parliament Monday included major upgrades for the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, and the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Perhaps the most significant changes are coming to the Corrections Department, where officials say a modernized facility will help position the country to achieve international accreditation through the American Correctional Association.
The first ever 28-bed female juvenile facility to be completed this budgetary period will ensure that juveniles are no longer housed with adult offenders.
The investment comes as officials continue to grapple with challenges at the existing prison compound, a facility that is nearly 8 decades old and facing growing pressures from overcrowding and aging infrastructure. National Security Minister Miles Larota says the new multifaceted corrections complex will mark a major shift in how inmates are housed and rehabilitated.
A new 820-bed high-medium security facility under construction will replace the 74-year-old maximum security unit. It will include a super max unit, chapel, classrooms, mental health, and medical clinic.
Meanwhile, the Royal Bahamas Police Force is set to benefit from a $9 million technology upgrade aimed at strengthening crime-fighting capabilities and expanding the tools available to officers on the ground.
Expansion of the CCTV network at a cost of $4,125,000. Maintenance of the Marco alert system at a cost of $610,746. Maintenance of the electronic monitoring system at a cost of $4,361,729.
And with the Royal Bahamas Defense Force continuing to battle illegal migration, drug trafficking, and other transnational threats, Larota says major investments are also being made in the maritime surveillance and border protection.
Purchasing maritime security and communication equipment at a cost of $310,000. Vessel refitting and dry docking for HMBS Arthur Dion Hanna, Raleigh Gray, Casarilla, and Lawrence Major is expected to cost approximately $24 million.
Also receiving funding is the National Drone Management Program, which will receive more than $1 million to expand aerial surveillance capabilities across the country. Officials say the technology will provide law enforcement and national security agencies with enhanced real-time intelligence, allowing them to identify threats faster and respond more effectively. Lyndon Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, if it feels hotter than usual outside, that's because it is. The Heat Health Bulletin Board was issued today. It warns that several islands in the Northwest Bahamas are currently experiencing an excessive heat wave with heat index values expected to range between 102 and 110 degrees Fahrenheit. The alert impacting New Providence, Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini, and the Berry Islands, also Andros and Eleuthera. Health officials reminding the public that the heat index is not the actual air temperature, but rather how hot it feels to the human body when humidity is factored in. Those most vulnerable, including the elderly, children, pregnant women, people taking prescription medication, displaced individuals, and pets. You're being urged to stay hydrated, avoid prolonged exposure to the sun, check on family members and neighbors, and also seek medical attention if you begin to experience symptoms of heat-related illnesses. Officials also warning that heat exhaustion can quickly progress to a heat stroke, a medical emergency that requires immediate treatment. With hot and humid conditions expected to continue, Authorities are encouraging everyone to take the necessary precautions to stay safe. Well, still to come in Eyewitness News tonight, a new policy from the country's flag carrier is sparking some scrutiny tonight. We've got that story, but first, an extended check on tonight's weather forecast.
Step inside a world of adventure with Mandalorian and Grogu at Burger King. See The Mandalorian and Grogu only in cinemas.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply. To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
Hi. Hello? Hey girl, I am Wendy's. I'm trying to go to Essence Fest. Wendy's and Coca-Cola want to take you and your bestie to New Orleans. July 3rd through 5th is Essence Fest, and you could be traveling VIP style.
Roxy?
Tenders?
Tenders.
All you gotta do is upgrade any premium lunch combo 1 through 12 or a salad to a large, like a spicy number 6, add cheese and bacon, or a Dave's Classic, or my personal favorite, tendies. This will now serve as your final boarding call for Flight 735, service into Essence Fest. Boarding now. Nola! We coming back?
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Well, Bahamas Air announcing today that it's increasing its unaccompanied minor fee to $100 each way. The national flag carrier says the new fee takes effect immediately and applies to both domestic and international travel. The airlines say the updated charges replace all previous minor fees, and they're asking passengers seeking more information on the service to visit their website. Well, still to come, our Laurencia Smith has your latest check on sports.
Good evening, Janelle. While the NCAA outdoor track and field wrapped up and some Bahamians leaving with some heavy hardware, I'll tell you more about it straight ahead in sports.
Save today, save tomorrow, save each and every day at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. JBI long grain or parboiled rice, 5 pounds, $2.89. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounces, $2.39. Whole chickens, $1.99 per pound. Sweet seedless watermelons, $7.99 each. Sweet pineapples, $5.99 each. Whether you're shopping for the week, the day, or stocking up for hurricane season, nobody saves you more than Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Tasha, what you saying? Girl, right here, rushing to cash J.S. Johnson. I gotta renew my insurance. Oh, I with JSJ too, but I don't wait in line. I just pay online. Stop it. How you do that? Just email info@jsjohnson.com and say, sign me up for the online service center. They'll reach out and hook you up. You ain't never got to stand in line again. Amen to that. Save time. Pay online. Sign up for J.S. Johnson's online service center today.
Insurance, peace of mind. We're working with each other until the day is done.
The Science Department of the Uriah McPhee Primary School hosted its third annual STEM Science Fair at the school's campus recently, which showcased student-built models of various machines that incorporate STEM principles.
It took about 2 days on the weekend to make. It is a solar panel project. These are the solar panels up here. And to make it realistic, you would have to put it in the sun to make it light up.
Principal Shavanya Ferguson explains that the week of activities also included parents, other schools, and special guests.
It is an exciting week that our teachers and our counselors would have planned for not just our students, our parents, but the wider community. Today, we have in our community leaders, and they've crossed party lines here today to be here for our students. We have Mr. Lincoln Deal in from the Free National Movement, and we also had in our Minister of National Security, Mr. Wayne Monroe.
Science coordinator Shafel Knowles shares why it is important for students to learn about STEM at an early age.
Now, our theme for this week is STEM in motion, small machines, big systems. And so the students actually built these small machines with their hands. You see, our students at this school, they're very good with using their hands. And so we're teaching them from early how to incorporate science, technology, and math and engineering from an early age. We don't want them to wait until they get old to decide what career they may want to venture into. We're trying to expose them to that very early.
Jonalee McIntosh for Ed Talk.
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat.
Welcome to another edition of Eyewitness Sports. I'm Laurencia Smith. Thanks for joining us. Kicking things off in sports tonight, we're on the track. The NCAA Division I Outdoor Track and Field Championship came to a close over at the Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon, and the Bahamian athletes did not leave empty-handed.
University of Tennessee senior Giovanni Valcott delivering a strong showing, clocking a time of 50.16 meters, second in Tennessee history to place third in the women's 400 meters, before anchoring the Volunteers to another third-place finish in the 4x400-meter relays. Speaking with Eyewitness Sports, Valcott, an Olympian as well, giving thanks to God and her family, reflecting on her consistency throughout her collegiate career that saw her reach the outdoor championships every season since freshman year.
First time making the 400-meter final for an individual event. So I was really, really happy, and especially to come third place in lane 9 at that and with a PR. So I'm really, really happy and grateful that I ended my season that way. I'm still processing everything. I'm just really, really grateful to God, my coaches, my teammates, and my family who's been supporting me throughout my whole journey this whole time. You know, last year I was watching the 400 in the stands with tears in my eyes. So I'm just really, really grateful, honestly. I don't have much words. And I'm really glad that I got to have a good split and bring my team back into third place.
Bahamian standout Anton Smith competed in the men's triple jump final to record a best leap of 15.99 meters to finish 11th overall against some of the nation's top collegiate athletes. On the women's side, fellow Bahamian Kalia Jackson took to the ring in the discus final to produce a top throw of 51.84 meters to place 22nd overall. Well, congratulations to all of our athletes from us here at Eyewitness Sports. Now we're still trackside as the B3As is preparing for for the national set for this weekend. B3A's is shifting its focus to the combined junior and senior national track and field championship set for June 19th to the 21st over at the original Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. B3A's president, Rumiko Watcher, says the meet will be a key evaluation for the athletes seeking national team selection and federation support ahead of a busy international calendar.
That is a moving target, but I want to say approximately 20 persons have met the World Junior Qualifying Standard, which is quite a handsome number. And we anticipate post-Carifta, and we are anticipating even larger numbers. For the NACAC under 18, under 23 championships, we have a lot of our collegiate athletes who have achieved the qualifying standard by a very comfortable margin. And even in the under 18 category, we expect a quite sizable team. And so we have a big problem, but a good problem at the same time.
Finally, in sports, in basketball, the city that never sleeps can rest easy after 53 years. The Knicks are finally NBA champions, taking down the San Antonio Spurs 94-90 in Game 5 to claim their first title since 1973. Jalen Brunson was spectacular, delivering 45 points and 3 boards in Game 5, earning NBA Finals honors as he led New York through this series. When it mattered most, the Knicks locked in defensively and closed strongly and finished the job. Now also claiming a ring for New York is the assistant coach with the men's national basketball team, Charles Allen. Congratulations to New York. Well, that's a quick look at sports at this hour. I'm Lauren C. Smith. Stay tuned for more news on the other side of the break.
Andres here, I come in my 2027. Oh, God is so good. Island Lock, I thank you, I tell you. I'm going to pray over this and I'm going to drive this all around town and show off and show them what Island Lock does for customers like me. I caught the keys with Island Lock and thank you, Jesus. I caught the keys.
Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Well, as we close out news tonight, our graduation feature series continues celebrating Jalila Ramming, who graduated from the Freeport Primary School in Grand Bahama from your mom, dad, sister, and extended family. Congratulations. Still coming out of Grand Bahama, congratulations to Ryan Payton, who graduated from Sunland Baptist. We also send congratulations to college-bound students from the Government High School, Kamaya Black, Talia Roll, Mackenzie Alnumar, Amari Forbes, Jaden Wilson, Zion Hall, Shade Clark, and Daquan Albury, and the class of 2026 at the Anatole Rogers School, especially Carmichael Pierre. Congratulations are also expanded to Kashan Bethel from all of your family and friends. We have tons of graduations to get to. We've been getting them all week. We'll be sure to display them throughout the rest of the week. That ends news today, but coming up and beyond the headlines with Shanique Miller, a look at all of today's top stories. That's coming up and beyond the headlines. It starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Nawal saying good night and be safe, everyone.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At Investar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At Investar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how. Everybody get up.
there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, callers, and advisors on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2026. All rights reserved.
Coming up tonight, 2 police officers in trouble with the law, an all too familiar situation. The 2 accused of extorting a tourist so that he doesn't face charges. Tonight, the latest on the officers and the all-important question, where is the tourist who reportedly was found in possession of marijuana? U.S. Ambassador Herschel Walker warning Americans against renting jet skis while vacationing in the Bahamas. We'll tell you what's behind the new warning. Adrian White having his own quiet protest in Parliament today, showing that while the Speaker prohibited the mention of Eric Gardner's name in the House of Assembly, she didn't say you cannot bring a photo of him. And that's exactly what he did. More of that ahead. Also tonight, while there has been the promise of dozens of new ambulances set for the Bahamas, the shortage of ambulances this weekend proved vexing. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. A case that started with a tourist in trouble with the law has now landed 2 police officers in court today. We get caught up with Linton Ritchie Jr.
Officers are at the center of a serious corruption investigation after allegations that an American tourist was asked to pay cash to avoid being charged by police. The claims have landed a male and female officer in custody and could see both appearing before the courts as early as Tuesday. Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles confirming to Eyewitness News that the Complaints and Corruptions Branch launched an investigation on Sunday after receiving a report of an alleged extortion involving officers attached to the Tourism Police Unit.
Those officers remain in police custody and they are expected to be arraigned before a magistrate's court.
Eyewitness News understands the matter stems from an incident involving an American tourist who was detained by security personnel on board a Royal Caribbean cruise ship after he was allegedly found in possession of suspected marijuana. The tourist was later handed over to local authorities. However, sources tell Eyewitness News that instead of proceeding through the normal legal process, the officers allegedly offered the visitor an opportunity to avoid arrest in exchange for money. According to those sources, an initial payment of $800 was discussed before the figure was allegedly reduced to $600. Following the exchange, the tourist reportedly filed a complaint, triggering the internal investigation that has now resulted in the officer's detention. The case marks the second high-profile allegation of police misconduct this year. In January, an officer was caught on video allegedly soliciting money from a tourist in exchange for not issuing a traffic ticket. With questions growing about whether low pay may be contributing to corruption within the force, Eyewitness News asked the commissioner whether such incidents risk damaging public confidence in the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
I do not agree that because of an officer's salary, it means that he should become corrupt. Police officers' starting salary is at a good level. Of course, we will never turn down a raise in salary, but this does not give anyone the right to become involved in corruption or extortion.
Knowles rejecting any suggestion that corruption should be excused or rationalized, insisting that officers are expected to operate with integrity regardless of their circumstances.
The concern is always there because we do not want to be faced with these kinds of situations, which brings embarrassment to our organization and to the country.
And as critics continue to question whether police officers are held to the same standard as the public, the commissioner offering this warning to members of the force.
We will continue to support you when you do that which is right. But whenever you do anything that contravenes police policy or the laws of the Bahamas, you will be treated like anyone else.
The two officers remain in custody as investigators finalize their file for forwarding to prosecutors. Authorities have not said whether the American tourist remains in the country or whether he was permitted to depart following the incident. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, the big question, the first question then tonight, why are police officers forced to or acting like Joneses? Truly, I mean, you heard the commissioner of the police say, their pay it can be improved. And I imagine National Security Minister Miles Loretta spoke about that today. But these officers just on the streets acting like Joneses, and it's quite frankly embarrassing. We are going to get into this evening with the Hot Topics panel. Welcome to the show and good evening, Leslie Miller, Michael Turnquest, and Howard Johnson. Gentlemen, good evening to you.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Oh boy.
Hi, Howard.
Howard,
I think you are muted.
No, I'm not on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You're good.
Let's start with you then,
good evening.
Howard. Good evening. Howard, your thoughts on these two officers, a male and female, now in custody, charged today with extortion of a tourist who they were supposed to be meeting out whichever punishment because he was allegedly found with marijuana, but they end up saying, man, slip me a little slow 600 and you good.
Yeah, Shanique, I mean, we're laughing, but it's no laughing matter. I think we're laughing just because it's unbelievable how stupid these officers are. I don't think I or my colleagues would use a nicer word to describe the behavior. Not only does it negatively impact the tourist economy, that's a massive economic engine for us in the Bahamas, but it also erodes the public trust and faith in local law enforcement. When these tourists hear these stories, and the previous story about the officer that tried to shake down the guy on the motorcycle some months ago, the tourists have to wonder whether they, when they come to the Bahamas, if they are going to be shaken down by no less than law enforcement. They don't have to worry about the hustlers when they get off the ship and everyone trying to pull them and drag them this way. But now you have to worry about those who are responsible for safeguarding and protecting all of us on the road, so to speak.
Yeah.
We have to worry about whether or not they're going to be shaking us down too. I think it's very sad. It's not a good look. It's a black eye for law enforcement. And I believe that the Commissioner of Police is serious about taking persons like this to task when they embarrass our law enforcement community and our country.
Shanique, I think, we, in banking where they say know your customer, I think, the police forces now need to create an acronym with know your recruits. I think maybe we need to lengthen the training process to ensure that we are taking I would say the top of the litter or the cream of the litter, but we have to really look at the recruitment process and really ask ourselves, is it something that needs to change? Because this is now starting to happen too often, whereas we see young police officers with just bribing or taking bribes or trying to even allude that they hey, you give me this and I'll in return give you that. I think this is something that the police, the commissioner really needs to look into and say, hey, maybe we need to change our approach in terms of how do we recruit these young men. At the end of the day, I tell people these young people are coming into the force thinking, how can I make a quick dollar? How can I, come up on something quick? Whether it be trying to make sure they're in a particular part of the force where they can either, where there's the drug enforcement unit. These are things that they really need to start looking at and how that they can actually screen these recruits a little bit more. And it's unfortunate that the pay is what it is, but you signed up for it. You know what you signed up for. You know this is a job that requires integrity. It requires you have to uphold the law of the land. And it's so when you can have the U.S. ambassador saying, please stay out of the way of all police officers.
I think it's close. I think it's close.
But it's unfortunate, and hopefully, I'm pretty sure you have to go through the process, the due process as it relates to the courts, to see, the last one was all caught on video. This one, I guess it'll be on a, he say, she say type of scenario, and hopefully you will see how it pan out in the courts.
It is truly embarrassing to our country. But just a few months ago, we all witnessed that Bahamian young policeman trying to get a couple of dollars from those tourists. We were supposed to have a hearing. I don't know if you all have heard, but I haven't heard anything about
Not one word, no.
what took place after that. And I guess these young fellas who should know better, because maybe they knew what happened to them, maybe nothing happened to them, not to the one fella. They decided they could do it too, but how careless could you be? Know that one of your squad mates or your teammates got caught doing this, and you come back and do the same thing. How does that work? You can't be that dumb that you figure somebody was going to squeal on you if you attempt to do it. It makes all Bahamians look bad, because when you figure the fact with our situation now with the U.S. and what is going on in our atmosphere, in the Caribbean and what have you, plus to have this happen now twice for the last several months, means that something is wrong with Bahamians, the mentality. I always say that someone has to think wrong before they do wrong.
But
And the guy
is, Leslie,
wanted a couple of dollars.
Bahamians,
Two of them. A man and woman.
I don't know.
A female.
Collude with each other.
I don't know if anyone has ever. I'm pretty sure you've came in contact or had in terms of with the law as it relates to giving reports. And when you look at some of these officers, some of them can't read, some can't write, some can't take a statement. But these are the things that the general public have to deal with. And at the end of the day, it's incompetence. When you look at just being able to have a conversation with some police officers, it's impossible.
So you're trying to say some of them speak
I don't
worse
know,
than
some of them, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, some of them it's almost impossible to have a sensible conversation or any rhyme or reason as it relates to when you're talking whatever topic, and some just don't understand just how the average thing works.
Well, mind you, this takes us back to what happened last week at the prison. When the good gentleman got in serious trouble, said he thought the women are much smarter than the men, and we give the fellas a break. It goes right back to that climate.
But it all goes back to I would say the general thinking of when you're looking at some of these, it's just not only just going through the physical training of actually when you're recruiting police officers. Some of them need to go back to whether it be school and basically the general knowledge in terms of how things.
That's what we have in school. Yeah. General knowledge.
But this is what a lot of them are lacking. General knowledge about life
and common sense.
Yes.
Common sense, which is so
knowledge.
And I'm not saying all, but you have some of them.
Remember now, we have police officers with doctorate, masters.
Yeah, we have a lot of.
But largely speaking, it's for Daquan them to get in and get a job. And they don't try and upskill themselves once they get there.
Yes,
they look, as you said, for the quick and easy way to get by.
But then again, it's still politics. You get those who are very well qualified, who should be sitting at the top. And some of them are just, they don't want to play the politics, so they get looked over. But you get a lot of qualified police officers who are sitting in the force, who've been looked over for years and years. But these are the ones who should be at the forefront, making some of the decisions, as well as maybe helping to train or groom some of these new recruits coming in, or saying, hey, you are not fit to be on the road to deal with.
And don't be afraid. And guess what? While we do need more police officers, we get that. But then they need to be they need to be fit because again they are appear to be showing up like Joneses. Meanwhile, gentlemen, I need to know this: where's the tourist Joneses? Where's the tourist tonight though? Because what we have a habit of doing in the Bahamas, I bet he would don't do that again, eh? Weed around here is still illegal and stuff like that. Where is the tourist? Is he facing charges, he or she?
That's the gentleman who kicked down the door?
And where?
That's a difference. No, where's the tourist? That's what we want to know.
Our tourist just been off the chain for the past couple of weeks.
Where did they get it from?
Howard, what were you saying?
No, I was saying, where did they get the drugs from?
Come on.
How did the drugs? Did they get the drugs from the United States or wherever their last call was?
Leslie, say you
But
stand on the street corner and
do
say,
you know how many tourists come through sometimes our airports and throughout our cruise ports with drugs in their bags?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. How is that happening? Because me, you, Leslie, or Shanique cannot come from the United States or go into the United States with marijuana or any type of controlled substance in our bags.
No, sir, no, we cannot.
How is it happening?
And that is why tonight the question just hangs right there as we move forward. Where's the tourist? Commissioner of Police, people in charge of the tourism police station, whomever where the tourist tonight, I hope he or she is also facing charges, because after all, it all started with that person.
Yeah. Because tourists are going back.
What about them tourists who kicked out the tourists?
They forgot they were in the Bahamas. They forgot they were in the Bahamas.
The police officers commit a crime, but the tourists commit a crime too.
Because we don't want them to go back home.
Exactly. The tourists committed a crime as well.
We don't want them to go back home and blast us on their television.
That's what it is.
And cause us a problem.
Trifling.
So we overlook that. Hey, fellow, when he's smoking grass, man.
Trifling. Just trifling. That's all I'm saying. Listen, when we come back, the U.S. Ambassador Herschel Walker warning U.S. citizens not to take any jet skis for no reason at all.
Yeah, they're dangerous.
I know that's going to be hurting that industry as a part of the whole tourism experience, but we'll tell you why right after the break. Stay close.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash, Superwash's newest spokesmodel, and I'm here to tell you about Superwash's large capacity washers and dryers for all your big loads.
I know I see that Charlie Banana coming here just now.
Luckily it's also big enough for me to hide it.
I thought he was right over here where these large capacity washer and dryers is. They're big enough now to handle your big loads, you know. Yeah, like your comfort on your blanket. But just look at us. Somebody forget to turn on the dryer. Oh, stop! You hear something? Yeah, that's the sound of clean. Superwash washes you, processes you, and entertains you 24/7.
Did you know that when you shop at cbsbahamas.com, you can see directly into our vendors' warehouses? What that means is even if we only have a dozen of an item available in store, you can order virtually as many as you want directly from our vendors and have it delivered to your doorstep in just 10 to 14 days. You don't have to worry about shipping, imports, duties, or any of the hard stuff. Our back order program is unique, and it's only at cbsbahamas.com.
The house is quiet, and the day is done. Almost. Just one last task to make sure tomorrow starts off right. With the complete Sueno line, just a touch of softness, a boost of scent, and a lot of love. Because nothing feels better than a fresh start. Sueno, for every moment in between.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At InvestStar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Last 10 seconds.
The U.S. Embassy in the Bahamas is issuing a new warning over what it describes as serious and ongoing safety risks linked to jet ski operators at popular beaches across the country. In the advisory, the U.S. Embassy here in the Bahamas says it continues to receive reports of injuries, negligence, and unsafe rental practices, prompting renewed caution for both visitors and residents. In a video released by the U.S. Embassy featuring Herschel Walker Ambassador, officials urge Americans to carefully review all safety guidelines before participating in any water-based activities.
And swimming at beaches where jet skis and small watercraft are being operated in shallow waters, particularly around Nassau and Paradise Island. We've lost Americans' lives to preventable accidents. Multiple visitors have been hospitalized. America have also been sexually assaulted by jet ski operators who take victims to isolated islands. Many watercrafts are unsafe and operators are unlicensed and uninsured. With the government of the Bahamas to address these issues. But for now, considering all the risks before you get on a jet ski in the Bahamas, your safety matters. If you need help, contact the embassy immediately.
There you have it. These guys are, and it's no surprise. Listen, Mr. Ambassador Walker, we know. So he says they are unlicensed oftentimes and they are uninsured. We understand that. We totally, we understand that. And when is this industry going to be regulated? Michael, I know you were an operator in some capacity, not necessarily jet ski, but in the whole sort of water sports or in water tour. What are the rules and guidelines?
You know, Shanique, the way that the industry needs to be treated is the same way we do it, whereas though taxi cab drivers, whereas though people, they need, a lot of these operators need to attend a Bahamas host in terms of how do you, first of all, deal with U.S. customers. But, you know, something that I proposed many years ago to the port, whereas though we need, just how South Florida does it, we need to have guided jet ski operators or tours, whereas though a guide and anyone that's actually participating on that particular, let's say it's 3 or 4 jet skis, they follow a guide and you take them through a tour in terms of what Nassau is all about, whether it be Rose Island things, or that's Paradise Island. But the way that these jet ski operators, that they operate with persons on the back, or they allow just tourists to go and just run wild, that is not the proper way of operating a jet ski operation. In South Florida, Key West, and other places, everything is very well managed, organized, and even the actual persons who take you on the tour, very well trained in all of the safety procedures, things that you should do properly. And this is what's lacking inside. Too, Yeah, and you know, the proper attire, and everything else. Making sure the tourists and whoever else have all the safety gear on. But these are the things that are lacking inside this particular industry. And then furthermore, you have those who are licensed, but those who then work for them in terms of going around, let's say, soliciting for business. Yeah. They're not well trained. No. They are not trained.
What do you mean trained? Michael, please stop. Michael, you know how what
you know, you want me to pretty it up?
Don't pretty it up.
I pretty it up. But you know, but at the end of the day, they should not be dealing with our day-to-day, what we call the bread and butter, which is our tourism product. They should not be involved. That's just the long and short of it.
No. Yeah. I agree with you totally.
You know, they are not trained at all. When I say trained, I mean in any shape, form, or fashion. Mm-hmm. I mean, you get basically most of them are just thugs. A lot of them, you see them operators, they fighting on Goodman's Bay. Oh yeah. There's all kind of things. You have so many things that happen in the jet ski industry on Paradise Island, Goodman's Bay, almost all of them in the back of
We are calling on the authorities to regulate this industry. It's become
how long have you been asking that?
Thank you.
Yes,
it's just been allowed.
We're going to allow the U.S. Embassy to send out these type of warnings.
Yes.
Whereas though it's affecting,
but not just the U.S. Embassy. Like, we're not doing it just for the sake of them. There are tourists coming from around the world. Yes. There are Bahamians on any given holiday who too want to go and take advantage and have good fun on the water and on a jet ski. Howard?
Yeah, and Shanique, the thing is, in addition to not having the training, right, you also have a lot of our young men in the Bahamas, unfortunately, they're so hell-bent on engaging in thrill-seeking, you know, and practicing a bunch of foolishness. You know, when you're talking about cars, motorbikes, jet skis, whatever have you. I don't understand why these young men like to engage in so much foolishness. I remember down there in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera, when I was about 17, one of my buddies brought his trail motorbike over by my mother's house, and I say, let me take her for a spin. And Shanique, I let the clutch out on that thing too early and hit that gas. And man, Shanique, I was all over my neighbor garbage tin, concrete. I ran into the garbage tin on that motorbike and almost killed myself. And that was the first and last time I mess around with a motorbike. Now, see, what we have to understand is, right, a lot of us young men in the Bahamas, we don't need to engage in extreme sports and extreme activities because we have extreme life. You see,
That's right.
Young men, when you're out there and you get 4 and 5 baby mamas and you got to find that money for child support, that's extreme life. When you have to deal with the police on a daily basis, getting shaken down, ending up in the house of pain bus, that's extreme life. There are so many things confronting young men out here in the world and in the Bahamas today that constitutes extreme life. You don't need to engage in any other type of extreme activities, practicing foolishness that could take your life.
But that is why, and I thank you very much. One of our viewers says the Port Department, Leslie, should regulate these type of maritime matters.
They've been trying. But listen, you know what I've found over the years, and Dave and I have found this when we go from area to area campaigning. The mentality the jet ski operators, the average fellow who they got in there working for them, is the same as the guys who ride those motorbikes.
Mm-hmm.
The same temperament.
Might be worse.
Funny enough, when we go there, you see the guys in their yard, that's where all the jet skis are, and then you see the guy next door, and the rest of the fellas get their motorbikes. It's the same people, generally speaking.
But the funny part, the port,
they take life as a joke.
If it's the port or the police department, they have a jet ski unit that's out.
A jet ski unit?
Yes, there's a jet ski unit that patrols the
Except they
harbor.
ain't got no jet ski.
No, they have jet skis.
They're looking at it. You see on the water?
I don't.
When I go there, I see them on the beach.
Doing the regattas, like the best of the best, you see them out on the waters, patrolling the waterway.
Hold on now. Y'all only giving these people permission to go out during the time of regattas and that kind of thing. Because where are these jet ski police officers? Where are they? Are they too doing little gimmicks on the water? They too popping the jet ski on the water, eh, Howard? Lawlessness, this is another comment. Lawlessness is prevalent in our country because we have a serious lack of enforcement culture, man. That's what you were talking about.
But it goes back to even sometimes with the port and also the police department on the waterways, right? They'll start something for a month. It's no consistency.
Yes.
They'll start something for a month, 2 months, and then all of a sudden it drops off.
It falls off.
And that continues to happen. And there was always a big complaint inside, in I would say in our industry, whereas though the harbor was just like a speed zone. They clamped down on it for a while, and then all of a sudden, it just fell off again. And this is where it's just no consistency as relates to making sure people are adhering to the rules, whether it be in the harbor, whether it be the jet ski operators, and also just the tourists who are actually operating these.
But Mike, the same can be said for the new taxi drivers. Them said who just get these plates. They run the damn red light like it's no tomorrow.
And the bus drivers.
Yeah. I mean, this just the wild west.
Yeah. You know what?
But it's consistency and enforcing the law. There's never consistency.
I don't know when we got to be.
Bring down the hammer on them. They don't bring the hammer down on nobody.
When did we become such a reckless society?
In the U.S.
Nothing happens. There's no consequences.
A lot of us go to Florida. A lot of us go to Florida. We know certain parts of Florida, a policeman can be on that corner, sitting in that car, waiting on you. You know what? In the event that you go past their speed. And if he isn't there today, more than likely he can be there tomorrow. But at some point, he can catch you. This would be lacking in the Bahamas. Even in our roads, in our streets, in our waterways.
Everybody know everybody.
Most of the police cars park up somewhere at somebody's house or park up inside the police station. And the same thing with the jet skis or sometimes the police boats. Every place else where they supposed to be. Not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, something, Howard, I'll move this on right here because this is a very unfortunate story. Speaking of water, and now it's the summer. Listen to this, you all. As one family grieves the loss of a teenager, attention is turning to long-standing concerns about children operating watercraft and whether existing rules are being enforced. We get the story from Daniel Dean, and then we come back and talk about it.
It's just a very solemn time, I think. A lot of people just trying to just grasp what happened.
Joshua Lowe says he grew up with the mother of the 15-year-old who lost his life in Friday evening's boating accident near Green Turtle Key. Lowe also volunteered with the fire and rescue team that responded to the distress call. He says the tragedy has left the tight-knit community searching for answers and also acknowledged a reality well known across many Family Island communities, that young people often learn to operate watercraft at an early age in settlements where boating, fishing, and maritime transportation are a way of life. However, he says the incident serves as a sobering reminder of the importance of safety and compliance with existing maritime regulations.
Right. Well, I guess for me, the first question is trying to find out what is the law on this. Is there an age limit, to operating a boat? I don't know. I mean, even here, I was young when I was younger, operating boats when I was young, but I was also very responsible. My dad made sure I could operate it, and I had for many years.
According to initial reports, the boat was carrying 4 minors, a 12-year-old, a 16-year-old, and 2 15-year-olds, including the teenager who lost his life. Authorities have indicated the 12-year-old was allegedly operating the vessel at the time of the incident. Under Bahamian law, it is illegal for a person under the age of 16 to operate a motorboat powered by an engine exceeding 10 horsepower. The law also provides penalties for those who knowingly permit such a violation. Meanwhile, one local ferry captain says he does not believe recent high-profile boating incidents indicate a wider problem with maritime safety in the community. His comments come as investigations continue into the tragedy, as well as another high-profile boating matter involving U.S. citizen Lynette Hooker.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, like I said, I've been actually a ferry captain for almost 20 years, and I'm 40 actually, and I grew up around boats my whole life and not at all concerned. I think just bringing more awareness to, I guess more so the age of some of the kids. I think that is something we need to look at. And actually, I guess what did in fact happen with this incident. There's information circulating, but obviously, to find out really what happened.
But North Abaco Administrator Stephen Wilson believes the incident should spark a broader conversation about enforcement and accountability on the water. Wilson saying while boating remains an essential part of life in Abaco, existing regulations must be followed to prevent future tragedies.
If you commuting on a fishing vessel or any vessel for that means, you should have all the protocols in place. The persons who are responsible to be maneuvering these crafts should be able to do so. Those persons who are not, they ought not to be doing so. So I don't want to debate any further on that, but I just want to say that our hearts go out to the family at this point, and we sympathize with them, and we grieve along with them because they all are part of our community.
Danielle Dean, Eyewitness News.
Boy, it's so unfortunate. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family there. Before I bring the Hot Topics panel in for just a quick response, really. Again, though, it's summer and you've got to use your discretion. And we know on the Family Islands, boys get together and go out, and it's nothing new, but it has to be some discretion and oversight. Yes, and supervision there. One of our viewers said, Colby Davis, Jo Beth, did put some order in place on beaches. She'll tell you what changes she's made. The thing is, as it relates to the jet ski operators and assaulting women, the viewer says only cruise ship women are assaulted. The jet ski guys are not interested in women who are here for extended hotel stays. And so it'll be interesting to kind of look at that and really dissect it. I know, right? And really, because those girls are here for a few hours, and then they go back on the ship and leave.
Or that's what they prey on is, they have to go right back, get on
they come right back. What will they do? They got to catch the boat.
Yeah.
So they have time to report
guys, it's quite unfortunate what happened in Abaco, Green Turtle Key over the weekend.
12-year-old driving the boat.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers. It's nothing more we can say, except that it's now summer. You got to know, one, where your kids are, whether they be teenagers or not. And it was a 12-year-old, but just know where they are, and I don't care how long they've been doing it. You have to make sure everybody is safe. Well, get this, you all. This here is quite troubling. There is more troubles for the country's healthcare system after a shortage of medications last week. Did you all hear that?
The what?
You all heard about that?
No.
That there was low medication. Who knows what the dickens that means? But this week, there's been a shortage of ambulances. Now, we know that there's been, and what that did actually is place additional strain on the country's emergency medical services the entire weekend after a mechanical problem or problems forced several ambulances out of service. Director of the National Emergency Medical Services, Dr. Miles Brennan, explained what happened.
We did have some units, as units tend to, because of mechanical issues, went down, and our mechanic was able to essentially return us to our full operating number by about 2:30 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. So there was about an 8-hour period last night in which we only had 1 unit operation. We typically maintain at least 3 units on per shift. Dispatch staff members will typically tell the public whether we actually have units currently engaged with the public or if we have any that are available for immediate dispatch. So it doesn't matter whether we have 1 or 1,000, right? If there are 1,000 active patients, they will still get that notification that at this time there are no units available. As soon as one becomes available, we will send them to you. Okay, so that complaint is something that we get all the time, and we do make attempts to essentially sensitize the public that when you hear that there are no units currently available, that does not mean that help is not on the way. It just means that there is going to be an additional wait.
I'll tell you, Dr. Brennan, we are vexed. We are vexed. We hear what you're saying. How old are these ambulances? How long have they been in the system? And truly, what's the maintenance? Like, don't wait for a spark plug.
Government never have no maintenance.
Don't wait for, I mean, what is the maintenance record? You know, Leslie, Michael, and Howard?
I wish, sometimes when you look at our ambulances and you look at the way that they're treated, and when I say treated, sometimes they just look run down, they look dirty, they look, I think when we're looking at bringing persons into, you look at a fire station, some fire stations in the U.S., and you see how they take, your first class, they make sure they're cleaned, and at the end of the day, I'm not sure of the maintenance routine on these vehicles, but I know sometimes when we look at some of the PHA that they own, some of these ambulances they own, man, you look at some of them, they need to go through just a foam bath. I mean, just as simple as keeping
keeping them clean.
Keeping them clean, keeping them, I don't know what the maintenance look like, but they just look like, sometimes you could tell the tires, the shocks and everything on a lot of them are gone. So, something that we really need to take seriously.
And for whole, and I'll let you jump in right now, Howard, very quickly, but for capital city, come on, man. Come on, man. I mean, how many times? And then when these ambulances arriving, the ones that are promised, where is?
You mean the stick? The manual shift one?
No, some other ones that's supposed to. Howard?
Yeah, I mean, they need to reach out to Mr. Karen. I know Mr. Karen.
Robert Karen, what's up? Where your ambulances?
Yeah, where them ambulance? Let's go, Mr. Karen. I was a big fan of yours. Let's get these ambulances out there. But Shanique, it's pervasive across government, and I ain't talking PLP and F&M government now. I talking the government of the Bahamas. Like we have to step up our game in the world. I know we have some challenges. We are a developing country. We're still considered a part of the third world or the global south. But at the end of the day, it has to start somewhere. When we're talking about emergency services and emergency responses, these ambulances are critical. I mean, we're talking mission critical equipment. And when you're saying we have problems in our hospital, we have problems with our medical facilities. Now we having problems with our ambulances. It's like Murphy's Law. Whenever something can go wrong, it will go wrong. Everything is going wrong, and we have to figure out what's going on. Like Leslie said, and Michael said, what's the maintenance regimen? If you're going to have these old vehicles in service, then let's service them properly and maintain them, and let's get whatever we could get out of them. But we cannot be having stuff like this happening and think it's okay and just shrug our shoulders and become sensitized to these problems. It is unacceptable.
It's the same old adage, I mean, it's the reason why government goes out and rent premises rather than build and own. Payments don't maintain. Whether it's at BEC, water and sewage, any of the corporations, any entity. And I guess it goes back to what KBC,
What do you say?
What KB said, who gave you that job? My MP. Okay.
And the thing is, you know, and it's what Bahamians don't get. Listen, here's how you beat that, Bahamians. If your MP gave you the job, go out there and qualify yourself, upskill, work hard, prove your MP right.
Shanique, these MPs need to let them know, I give you your job, but you have to keep your job.
You have to keep it.
You see, I could give it to you, but you got to keep it.
Mind you,
if you
they
don't
have
do
a
what
hell of a
you're
lot
supposed to do, go
of private ambulances now, but what you find that most of the private ambulances are old ambulances that the hospital sell off and the fellas fix up. They don't bring
But at least the private ambulance, they maintain them. At least they're cleaning them and they work.
Yeah.
You know, maybe, I know the last time, I think it was Alquitas, they were bringing in some fire trucks that they said they would bring the company in to also maintain them and make sure. Maybe that's the approach we need to take with the ambulances.
I agree, gentlemen.
You know, 5 and 40 and bring the company in.
Well, this is what they said. They said
Get
minimum 50 or on, and I don't mean Robert Karens. I'm talking government, like proper.
I can buy some and release them to the government and
or on the way.
People lives at stake.
Do that. No, for real. It's no joke.
It's
absolutely. When we come back, we're going to take a look at Parliament. Beyond the Headlines is backward after this.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
From digital transformation to a national development plan designed to outlast political cycles, the government's newest ministry unveiling an ambitious roadmap for the country's future during its first major presentation in Parliament today. The contribution highlighting plans to modernize government services, leverage technology, and accelerate national development projects. We hear from Jose Etienne on Bastian's first budget presentation.
In his maiden contribution to the national budget debate, Minister of Innovation and National Development Bastian sought to define both his new ministry and his place in Bahamian politics. The Fort Charlotte Member of Parliament laying out an agenda built on 4 pillars: modernizing government, building a future-ready Bahamas, developing Bahamian talent, and driving national development. But before turning to policy, Bastian addressed those who have questioned his presence in frontline politics.
There's spaces in this country where some are welcome to contribute, to finance, to support, to build, but viewed very differently the moment they seek to serve.
The comments coming amid continued debate over assent from the private sector to the cabinet table. Bastian, however, suggested his journey reflects a changing of the guard and greater participation by a new generation of leaders.
There's a tension, Madam Speaker, between the old order and a rising generation, a generation that believes it has the same right to aspire, to innovate, to govern.
The minister turning his attention to the mission of his newly created portfolio, a first for the country, describing it as the government's lead institution for innovation, national competitiveness, and long-term development.
Our job is a practical one: to make governments work better, to make the Bahamas easier to do business in, and to make sure that our country and our people are ready for what comes next.
Among the ministry's first major undertakings is the creation of a national digital identification system designed to give Bahamians a single secure credential to access government services.
Today, providing who you are to your own government too often means carrying stack of documents from one office to the next, verifying yourself over and over again. A national ID card will change that.
The ministry is also moving to position the Bahamas for the growing impact of artificial intelligence. Bastian announcing plans for a National Artificial Intelligence Committee that will help draft the country's first AI legislation.
This legislation, in turn, will establish the Artificial Intelligence Authority, a standing institution that will govern the safety, the responsible use of the technology, to set the guardrails that protect our people, and ensure that AI grows more powerful over the oversight of our people.
The proposed framework would establish rules for the development and use of artificial intelligence while creating safeguards for citizens, businesses, and public institutions.
We will be launching training opportunities both online and in person, bringing world-class artificial intelligence and software, AI productivity tools. We will work closely with the Ministry of Education, supporting them as they introduce artificial intelligence into the classrooms so that the skills of the future are introduced early.
The mission, he says, is positioning the Bahamas for the future. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Well, gentlemen, there's a whole lot of interest and anticipation for what that ministry is intent on doing. We heard from Minister Bastian during his budget presentation today. Your thoughts on, and then something that everybody's been calling for, the National Development Plan is also something he zeroed in on and say that they are going to enforce and even add what's needed to modernize it, but stay on track with what that document has intent for the nation through 2040. Jump in.
Well, you know, Shanique, I think...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, my brother.
I think...
Yeah. So, Shanique, what I was going to say was I really liked what the minister said about the National Digital Identification System. You know, I have one of those in my pocket right now. It's a Florida driver's license. Not only does it function as a driver's license, but across private businesses and public organizations here in the state of Florida, I can use that ID to do a bunch of things, and I don't have to take around multiple documents to get anything done. So I think it makes sense for us to develop that in the Bahamas, where we have citizens only needing to carry a single credential to verify their identity and to conduct business, right? But at the same time, I know that the ministry has to consider some of the privacy concerns that are going to arise, and that they take the necessary steps to mitigate and eliminate those. Like, there's two I want to focus on real quickly, right? And the first one is those centralization vulnerabilities. When you collect data and information from your citizens and you have them what we supposedly believe is in a secured, centralized database, now you have a lot of these cyber criminals and stuff out here that are trying to hack in and get your data. And if they do, I mean, that is a serious problem. And then there's also something that that is pervasive across the world in the Western world, something called function creep. And function creep is where you will have a government collecting information in a national digital identification system, like the one the minister is talking about. And it is supposed to be for the purpose of doing exactly what he is saying. But then at the end of the day, it can also produce government overreach, where citizens have to wonder about their government tracking them, their movements, tracking their financial transactions, and all of these other things. So we just have to make sure that we have the proper regulatory and judicial frameworks in place to mitigate these issues.
I think, I think it's all good. I think sometimes, we just need to start for the Bahamas. We need to start with the basics. And I think when you think about a national ID, that maybe, and this maybe could spread throughout all of the ministries, that being Ministry of Works, road traffic, things of that sort, where I know exactly if me as an individual, Michael Turnquest, my ID speaks to whatever I have going on at Ministry of Works, whether it be my housing plans that ties back to inland revenue, my road traffic where I can go and apply for my applying online for my yearly license or 2 years, however often we do it. Because, everything that we do is too manual. Where we have too much when I say human intervention, these same people can be in the background processing these things when they're now being done in a digitized fashion. But what we find in the public sector is that most people in the public sector don't want to see us go digital, fully digital. And there's reasons why. So, sometimes they're the ones who stagnate the process in terms of things moving forward.
But he stressed that this, Leslie, this isn't trying to, people say, oh, when you become digitalized, that's your job's gone. No, they can do the real work while AI function on things that's just sort of the low-hanging fruit.
But you should be able to sit, whether it be Ministry of Works, whether it be road traffic, to be able to watch the process in terms of the process flow as relates to maybe it's your housing plans. I uploaded them. I can see where they're sitting, who they're sitting with, and could go from there. But we get into this fashion where we got to walk into an office and we get 10 people sitting in there. And, you know what happens? Well, hey, I got $20 tip over here. You could, see
me. You can't cut out that. Now that's an industry you can't cut out. Listen, you can't cut out the tip industry.
But this is where we need to stop it, because the only way we're going to get efficiency inside these government agencies is by cutting out that same foolishness.
I believe that the Prime Minister made the right decision when he chose Sebastian to be the minister for what he has under his portfolio. Back in the 60s, late 60s and 70s, we had something called the Ministry of Development, who never really fulfilled its ambit of what should have been done. And with him having a vast background in the private sector, in the areas that are so important and it's so relevant to our lives today, it is good that we now have a ministry that is going to do those things that needs to be done. I mean, most people, as Mike said, in the public service and elsewhere, are afraid of innovation and new technology. Myself, I have no use for it, even though it's there. It's like, somebody says, I'm going to send you an email, I'm older person, so I say, listen, man, I can give you a call, Well, my number is 424.
But people are so scared of AI, but there's so much in terms of efficiency that AI can bring. The bottlenecks. I mean, there's so many things that it can help in a lot of the organizations, and a lot of in the public sector, that people would be surprised to see how AI would help them in just operate efficiently in their job, be more productive.
Like at the same time, though, AI is so dangerous in a sense that even the operators of AI are now telling the United States government and the world government to be so careful. Bring those restrictions in place. Bring the oversight in place. For example, the water usage in an AI plant is 500,000 gallons of water a day.
Yeah.
A day.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that frightens everybody. I believe a town in Ohio, they wanted to go there. And then, I guess guys like myself and older people say 500,000 gallons of water.
But
They tell them, they say, no, go someplace else. Go to Missouri, where they got abundance of water. People have to be careful as to what is good.
It's the same thing of when we went from cash to credit cards. There was a big pushback against that. It's no turning back now.
There's no turning back. Gentlemen, I
look forward to see what the young man is going to do.
Later this week, we're going to bring and really kind of look into what Abbas's ministry is intent on doing.
He has an opportunity to make a difference in our lives.
But I want to get
His
to
ministry.
this. The opposition seemingly moving to silently protest the blockages to their desire to mention Eric Gardner and that U.S. investigation on the House floor. Senate's Member of Parliament Adrian White, while making his contribution today, displayed Eric Gardner's mugshot as he argued that he is still in the confines of the Speaker's rules. He did not mention the accused verbally.
It teaches us to put God first. He who is last shall be first. Yes, Madam Speaker.
What is the relevance of you displaying this particular photo?
The May 12th, Madam Speaker. Events of May 12th. We've spoken in depth, I think, about the success of the PLP on May 12th. And the images I've displayed thus far are all related to May 12th, including the evening. And Madam Speaker, I'm actually not doing anything contrary to what you had prohibited previously. So I'm not here to irritate the chair, Madam Speaker. I'm staying within the rules and within your existing decisions.
So what does the relevance of this
A
to the budget debate?
See, there you go, Madam Speaker. This is a bit of a slippery slope. If I begin to discuss it, Madam Speaker, then I might fall within your existing decision.
And that should be his urgings at this time, not to be cute with his words, speak on one thing and then have an expression of his words depicted by a picture. I think it's inappropriate, and he ought not to be allowed to continue to show it. It's already been shown, it's there, and it's gone. But I think you have made your point, and you should take the pictures down.
At the end of the day, no matter what we think, no matter what would have happened, this gentleman is a Bahamian and he has family. So let's leave it alone. Let the courts make their decision. It's an open investigation. It's being dealt with by the U.S. And let's respectfully respect that. Let's just do that.
Down.
Last week, Eyewitness News did a poll where you got to express your views on this, and the majority of you said, man, hold up, man, let the court, let the investigation reveal and do what it needs to do, and then move forward. Other than that, get busy about the people's business. Howard, your thoughts, though? I mean, it was quite, as the Prime Minister said, cute.
Yeah, it's crafty political maneuvering at its best, Shanique. And it's so unfortunate for me. Politics is going to be politics. The PLP and the FNM both do their crafty political maneuvering, both inside and outside of the House of Assembly. This is nothing new. However, for me personally, as I said last week, when we are talking about the budget of our country, our comprehensive annual financial plan, I don't think we have any place for any Machiavellian political maneuvering, because we have to be about the people's business. And so that's my view on that. I think it's enough, and I think it's distasteful, whether the PLP is doing it or the FNM is doing it. Let's get this budget done. Let's do what the people elected you all to do, and save that stuff for another time.
Shanique, I would agree with Howard. It's at the end of the day, this should be about the budget. At the end of the day, there's not been any further details released as it relates to this case, whether it be about politician number one, the details as it relates to Mr. Gardner. Right now everything is speculation. I think the opposition is speculating. I think even down to the Prime Minister, he is not aware. I don't think he has been given any additional information in terms of names or things of that sort, because I'm pretty sure any Prime Minister would be addressing that, whether it be within his cabinet or outside his cabinet within his team. But right now it's about the budget. I think what the opposition should be focused on is digging into that budget and basically providing the details, whether it be what they're doing and what they're not doing, or what they should be doing, and give the public, say, hey, give them some more meat as it relates to just the speeches, because even some of these speeches, it looks as though a lot of them are just being read. It was given by their permanent secretary or whatever, and they have no idea what they're reading.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day,
so you were saying the opposition is missing a key role to be able to help govern by holding this administration accountable with all the words
to show them a better way.
During this budget.
To show them a better way.
I mean, I can tell from some of the speeches that I've been watching that's been read, it seems a lot of the cabinet ministers are just reading from the paper. And I think this is an opportune time for the opposition to dig into that, into the details of those speeches, and bring out what the cabinet ministers might not know, because all they're doing is just reading a piece of paper. Some of them, I'm not saying all, but you can really pull the card and say, hey, let me see if you really know what you're talking about.
I have told you all over and over again that this white brother in the House of Assembly has a mindset of the brothers in the hood. You take him in being through McCullough Corner or the Grove, he's standing right in. He's from the hood.
He should run for leader.
He's from the hood.
He should run for leader.
He's a hoodie. He believes he's one of the brothers. You tell me you're a brother, he start crying. That's his mindset.
I agree with you.
He really believes he's a brother.
Yeah.
It is a very serious thing. You're talking about the budget of Bahamas that's going to run our country for the next 12 months. It is a serious, serious matter, the most serious matter financially that the country has for that particular time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And they should be taken seriously instead of trivialities, with Gardner and anybody else. Let the case take its course.
We need ambulances.
Now they're doing that.
You're right. We see what's going on with healthcare and all the rest of it.
Bring in the ambulances.
Absolutely.
So that people their life could be saved.
That part. And so, you know what? This is an insult, in fact, to the lives of to everyday Bahamians who can't jump on an aircraft and go and seek help wherever it is. Be about the people's business. Listen, whatever the issue with Eric Gardner, that will sort itself out when the U.S. investigation leads to it, whenever that happens. But to be here in the House of Assembly doing a budget and grandstanding and providing comedic relief, certainly is nothing funny about that. Meanwhile, in North Andros tonight, there's a viewer that says, good night, we need AI in all government offices, because perhaps that'll help you get some documents signed in the reasonable amount of time. I thank you all so much for participating tonight. Leslie Miller, Michael Turnquest, Howard Johnson, thank you as well. And a huge thank you to all of you for tuning in this evening. I certainly enjoyed having you along and look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.
The Verizon Media Group, home of ILTV, Paramount Systems Limited.